Kate Baucherel.
Yes.
So my French is good?
Congratulations.
Great, great. You're a Sage expert?
I am, yes.
And you're an accountant by trade?
I am. I trained, a very long time ago, and I don't want to divulge, and I spent 25 years working my way up through the profession. Ended up as CFO for an online media business. I've been in manufacturing, I've been in utilities, I've been in sports, all sorts.
So you're here today to fix our books, is that what you're telling us?
No.
Okay, all right.
Damn it.
No fixing on that.
Damn it.
No,
It's 2 days you've been trying to get some.
We'll get someone eventually.
We will, keep trying.
So tell us a little bit more about yourself.
As I say, I worked as an accountant for many, many years, and I was always doing tech at the side because finance and tech always go hand in hand in business. So it's always, you can do the books and you can fix the photocopier. You can do the books and you can manage the servers. You can do the books and you can set up a whole new operating system and so on. And so I always had that finance and tech thing going on. And when I got made redundant in 2010, so middle of the recession, I'm like, I'll be fine finding another job, and there was nothing. So I ended up setting up my first online business, and from there grew a software development business and my own consultancy business. And now I'm working with businesses that are either using emerging technologies or who are developing emerging technologies, which is a huge amount of fun because I love digital things.
Did you always want to set up your own company, or is it just because of the recession that you were kind of pushed down that route?
I was pushed down the route because of the recession, but I wouldn't go back now.
So good things have come out of the recession, that's what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Complete change of direction, and I wouldn't go back.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously accountancy is changing.
Yes.
For the better?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've seen some of that here. We've seen a bit because you've been stuck in a van, but we've seen some of it here.
It's no longer a headache.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about the change in accountancy last.
Well, it's really interesting, and actually the accountancy side of my training means that I can look at businesses and go, well, maybe you need this, maybe you don't, and don't get too excited about stuff that's coming. You don't always need it.
Yeah.
But this is great because it puts proper record keeping in the path of people who really struggled with just brown bags in the past, and it's using all those emerging technologies that are coming through, because I think we've gone from how do we replace this written set of books with a spreadsheet? Well, it's exactly the same thing, it's just on a computer. And now we're going, what different interactions can we have that will actually help the process? So it's a completely different way of thinking, and it's so nice to see it, because way back in the day I beta tested a really early version of Sage Sterling when I was an accountant. And I've seen it go from, giving the feedback of, we want different colour stripes on the screen and things, and now it's just like, what's the user journey, what's the user interface, what's the user experience, how do we streamline it, because it's not accountants that are using the software anymore. It's fantastic.
So I'm sure you've come across a number of companies that they just want to focus on what they do and what they do well, which is running the business, whatever it is they're involved in. And when it comes to the accountancy and the bookkeeping, it's a headache.
Oh, totally. That's really, really common in the tech sector as well, because you get a startup with people who really know their stuff. They're embedded in building software and agile iterations of whatever they're producing. And you're like, okay, you've got to do the payroll now.
Yeah, I know. No, what? Do I write that out?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a really tough thing in every sector, and I really see it with the young digital businesses. And yeah, this is really going to help.
What kind of effects are something like this having on accountants themselves, where software comes along and it's making it easier for companies to do? I know you always need an accountant to sign it off, don't get me wrong. You always need an accountant to sign it off. But what kind of effects is it also having on accountants?
Well, I mean, I have an accountant. I'm an accountant who has an accountant because I like having that sort of third party. And my accountant is purely cloud.
Right.
She's completely gone from the traditional model to purely cloud accounting. She will not take a client who will not move onto the cloud.
Wow.
And it's made a massive difference to her business. She's actually adopted it very, very early, so she's really at the cutting edge.
Probably makes it a little bit easier for her as well.
Yes,
not
very,
going through
very
all
much.
These receipts and books and there you go, it's all in that folder.
Yeah.
Not my problem anymore, it's yours.
That's right. Yeah. No, it's. I think it will make a big difference if people are confident enough to adopt it, because there is that sort of slight fear of, oh, I'm not going in there. It's scary. Does it compromise my privacy, my security? And people are very, very careful about their clients' records. But I think once this kind of event helps to educate people that actually what looks as if it's less secure, I'll just touch that on my iPhone, is actually more secure.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit around, I know there's some companies out there, especially a number of new companies, especially startups, because they have to make their first return. I think it's 6 months in, and a lot of them are forgetting about it. They're not filing it, and they're getting penalised for it.
Yeah, I've known people go onto Companies House just to look for something and discover their company's been dissolved.
So,
really?
So what advice can you give around that? Like, I know you can put a reminder in your phone and stuff like that, but it's obviously going to be a little bit more than that. Like,
I think it comes down to how startups are supported, how young businesses are supported. I think that there needs to be an ecosystem. I mean, there is an ecosystem that's developing of good, affordable, accessible mentoring from people who don't just say, oh, well, you can set up your digital marketing like this, but actually go, let's get the basics right, let's get all of the admin right, and so you don't need to worry about it, and it will just tick away in the background. And young businesses need that financial support, and I think that's a real need that's got to be filled.
It's the less sexy thing, isn't it? No, and that's why it gets ignored a lot of the time.
Yeah, but this is going to help. All of the tech that's coming through is going to help, because it used to be not sexy, and now for those that care, it is. And it used to be hard, and for those that are afraid, it isn't.
So how soon should someone start using an accountancy software? Like, is it from day one? When do they need it?
It's not so much the software as the habit of record keeping. And if there's a piece of tool that will help them be organised, and it might well be accounting software, but let's say it's just a tool that helps them be organised so they know at the end of the month how much they've spent. I think they need that from day one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
You also told us outside that you're going to hang around because we've got a boot full of receipts here that you're going to help us go through.
I think you misheard me.
So you said you weren't hanging around for that, was it? Oh, okay. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in the van. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Cheers.
No worries.
Thank you.